Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the former classroom teacher turned homeschooling mom and private reading tutor behind Little Otters Learn. And here on my YouTube channel, as well as my blog and my Instagram page, I offer different homeschooling topics and tips and curriculum reviews and flip-throughs. Today is a review of VocabuLit. This is a vocabulary program where you are learning the vocabulary through different pieces of literature. It is not like the full book that you are expected to read, but instead it has excerpts from the pieces of literature. The publisher is Perfection Learning. You can get this on Rainbow Resource. You can get used copies. I don't know if it's available on Amazon, but I'll link it all below. The grade levels, or the levels I should say, are identified with letters. Grade B, Book B, is grade 2, and Book D is grade 4. There is the student workbook as well as the teacher's guide. I don't want to misspeak, but I think the teacher's guide was fairly expensive. I got this used copy. But honestly, the teacher's guide is basically an answer key. It's not like a full teacher's manual where it's providing you all these extension activities or background information or anything like that. It's just the answers written out. And if you're doing this workbook and sort of paying attention a little bit alongside your student, you really don't need the teacher's book. Okay, we've used this a bit, and to be completely honest, I'm on the fence whether we should continue. I like the idea that vocabulary is embedded in these pieces of literature, but I find, at least the units that we've worked through, that the vocabulary is not that rigorous. These are words that my kids kind of know. And when I say know a vocabulary word, I mean when they see it in text, they understand what it means and they can use it. They can use it in oral language, in conversations and discussions, and they can use it in their own writing without any problem. So, maybe what I could do is choose the book that's slightly above my child's grade level, but let me get into it and show you. I think I'll start with book B. Again, this is the second grade. So you can see the lessons are here. There's 20 lessons built into this grade 2 or level B, book B text. There's reviews throughout. Again, there's no answer key here. That would be a separate teacher's manual, which I did originally purchase for Book B and then returned it because for the cost, it just wasn't worth it. You can see a good variety of excerpts from different pieces of literature, stories, and poetry. And I think I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit because we did do some of this already. I'm going to skip ahead to lesson 3. So you have your exercise 1, which is to read the text. Here's your master words. These are your vocabulary words. I think you can see what I mean here, that bait, dentist, dig, fishing, garden, poles, tangled in worms. For the average second grader, these are words that they can use very easily, and I don't know how valuable it is to go through a program like this for this level of vocabulary. But again, maybe I just needed to choose a grade that was a little bit higher. So this one has 2 pages for the story, the piece of literature, some illustrations. I do like this section, however. This section is giving you 2 different meanings. Some of them are very different. Some of them are just kind of like shades of a different meaning for the words. And the child has to choose which one is used in the actual story. There's a nice phonetic spelling, so you can see how the word should be pronounced, and you're supposed to check off the meaning that's used. I have a child who's constantly like, well, like this, for example. Okay, pole, like if the child hears it in a story or you're talking about it, well, which pole are you talking about? Are you talking about the North Pole and the South Pole, or the one that you use when you're fishing? So I do like the incorporation of this. You have exercise. So exercise 1 is reading the excerpt. Exercise 2 is the definition. Exercise 3 is a fill in the blank. Exercise 4, you're writing an answer to a question. Exercise 5 and exercise 6 are on 1 page for this level. And exercise 7 is a word play. Sometimes this is like a puzzle or a crossword puzzle or a different approach. That's kind of like a little bit more fun. So 7 exercises. I think the other thing that's been tricky about this is I can't fit it neatly into a week, which is fine for some people. I personally like things to be fit into a week. You could certainly double up on exercises, and then it moves on to the next one. My child has actually really liked the stories. The illustrations are fun. The child is able to do this independently for the most part. Does it without complaint. But again, I'm not someone who just does things for busy work. I like to sort of see a level of sophistication, or, to see that it's fully useful. These words are words, growled, perfume. These are words, beasts, that an average second grader probably already knows. Okay, I'm curious if other people have used this and what they think about the kind of level of vocabulary. So here's Book D. Again, this is meant for the 4th grade. It's set up in a very similar way. This one has 24 lessons. The review is contained. There's review throughout. I like the stories that they, and the books that they choose these excerpts from. A lot of them are kind of classic, and there's some new ones. There's some speeches. Certainly the literature that is used is quality literature. So let me show you maybe one that's kind of in the beginning. So here's lesson 7. You can see the text, the font is much smaller in this one. Higher level of vocabulary, because this is grade 4. You have your first exercise is to read the text. You'd want to say the words out loud for the child, so you can kind of link that pronunciation to the written form of the word as well as the definition. This just has the students use a dictionary to write the definitions, and they have a dictionary in the back that they could copy the definitions down from. This is using context clues, multiple choice. Here's this little suggestion box, a word attack skill. You can see 2 exercises built into one page. Exercise 6, this one is using a word web. Here's a suggestion for an actual writing exercise that the kids can do. And then this is that puzzle word play on that last day. Then you move into your next one. So yes, we've used a couple units here. I think that we'll stay with it because I'm not really one to use something just for a little bit and kind of abandon it. But I don't know that I would do this for an additional year. The merits are certainly the quality of the pieces of literature. They have a lot of different types of exercises that the child is doing. This word relationships, analogies is just a really good way for the child to think about words flexibly. Okay. All right, so let me know what you think. If you have any questions below, you can drop them in the comments. If you like this sort of video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I have an immense amount of resources that I like to do flip-throughs and reviews of. I'm making videos as fast as I can to share them with you, because I sometimes feel like even with samples online and the different publishers' websites, you can't really get a good feel for the text unless you have an in-depth, flip through or review like I'm trying to offer here. So if this is helpful, please consider tapping that red subscribe button. If you have any other vocabulary programs or, English language arts, science, whatever the topic is, writing, and you want me to do a review, please let me know. All right, thanks everyone.